Hello everyone and welcome to another stream throughout the week. I'll take that off. Hello, how are we going? I need to post this on Twitter. So just give me a second right now, might I say. How do I usually word these? Does that make, come on and join in. I think that makes sense anyway. Link the stream, put some emojis in there because everyone loves emojis on a tweet. We'll do double smiley face and we'll do double lightning bolts indicating the flash. Then we'll chuck a GIF in. We'll go arrow. We'll go arrow for today because it's arrow Thursday in America, but it's Friday for me. So arrow Friday for me. And we'll chuck in we won't chuck in a specifically arrow one, but a funny meme. Funny meme, that's what that is, arrow. If you follow me on Twitter, you know what's going on. Why is this Twitter taking so long to load up? Not this Twitter, what do you call it? This GIF or GIF or GIF, whatever you want to call it. There we go. Okay, now we can start. Is that okay? I swear, I was just making sure the chat was lined up because I moved the box the other day, so I thought it might have been stuffed up. Anyway, all good. I just have some tweets here. I needed to go through because I was downstairs having breakfast, so I haven't really checked my Twitter at all. What the hell is this? Whatever. Okay, welcome everyone to the stream. Hopefully everyone is having a good day, if you want to call it that, or good night, or good morning. I don't know. It's 7 o'clock in the morning where I am. I usually start these streams around this time. Thank you, 5YI. Is that, or 5YI? Or 5Ye, however you pronounce it. Thank you for the £2 super chat. Howdy. Howdy to you. I didn't really realize we're in the Old West. Did the Coca Cup say GC jitters on lot? What does that mean? Gonna need you to clarify that one a bit more, Austin. But thank you for the $2 super chat. If you can clarify that, then I'd be very much appreciated. Sam with the $5 super chat. Thank you very much, Sam. I just wanted to say Arrow Season 6 isn't that bad. I feel bad for you because your vision with Richard is actually really good. It's just the subplots are shite. Yeah, that's basic. I still think Arrow is decent this season, if not good. I think it's borderline basically the same as last season was before Adrian Chase was revealed to be Prometheus, and then it moved on into that really good storyline. I think people forget what Arrow Season 5 was like last season before it actually, before Prometheus was revealed and they went on that storyline. I think people forget that. Fair enough if you don't agree with me, but I think people do forget that and do realize that episode 15, which is this week's episode, was the episode in which everything changed for last season. So yeah, like, I'm not saying this season's going to be better than last season because I don't think it will. I think last season's going to be very, very hard to top, especially those last, like, what, 9 episodes? But I still think this season is pretty decent. I think it's consistently average. Same with The Flash. I think The Flash is consistently average. Every episode is basically the same, like, quality-wise, apart from episode 5. That was, like, a bit down. But yeah, but thank you very much, Sam, for that. Is it Vladimir? Oh, you haven't been here for a while. A friend from Russia. You haven't been here for a while. I think it's Vladimir. Correct me from the comments if I'm wrong. I think it's Vladimir. Hopefully I'm remembering that right. I think I'm wrong, though. But anyway, 100 Russian ruble, super chat. Told it already, but buried in time travel because time travel might result in a time remnant. And unless I killed him, he always spawns Saboteur natural result. Not really. I think my stream has just gone down for a second. Hopefully it comes back up. I think it's sweet now. I think it just went down for a bit earlier on. Anyway, I think it's good. This is going to look weird, like, when it's back up because I'm delayed. I think it's all good now. Anyway, the thing with, like, the traveling back in time is a time remnant. The concept of a time remnant is, like, not everyone that runs back in time is a time remnant. The concept of a time remnant is that they're expendable. So that time remnant is running back in order to naturally die, to sacrifice themselves. That's the concept of a time remnant. While, say, like, when Barry ran back in time in season 2 of The Flash, Yeah, to the time of season 1. He wasn't a time remnant. He was going back to find out some other stuff and like different things like that. The way I worded it in my review is probably wrong. He shouldn't have run back 3 seconds or something. Like, obviously, if he ran back 3 seconds, he would have stopped it, but it would have been harder to run back to the time he left. If anything, he runs back a minute, 2 minutes, and stops it all from happening. Like, and they don't even get that distress call. I know it changes things, but it stops Central City from blowing up. The effects aren't Flashpoint-esque. Like, people were saying, oh, it's going to cause Flashpoint 2.0, and I was like, no, it's not. It's not going to cause any sort of major ripple in the time stream, because the thing is that they avoided that. And they were like, okay, no, we can't time travel because it's going to do this thing, all these things. But you know, next season Barry's going to time travel. It's one of the Flash's biggest powers. He's going to time travel again. Everyone knows it's going to happen. Like, it's not a mystery it's not going to happen anymore. That it's going to happen again. Like, we're going to see it next season. 100% we'll see it. So the reason that they didn't do it, and it's pretty obvious why they didn't do it, because it was one of the first options they brought up. I think the first one was that what the first one was? The first one chucking the bomb into the Speed Force. Either or, it was one of the first 2 options. And the reason that they didn't do it is so they could lead up to that last point where Iris was like, you get the thing out of the Speed Force, so it has that big, epic moment. Because if the solution to the problem was running back in time a minute and stopping it, it wouldn't have been as, you know, dramatic at the end. Like, that's the whole point in Run Back in Time. It's not because, like, and the reason that they used was, oh, it would create all this stuff. It's like, well, no, it wouldn't. That's not how it works. Like, it's completely different to, like, Flashpoint and stuff like that. But yeah, it wouldn't have caused Savitar 2.0, because the thing is that was completely different with the Time Remnant and stuff like that. So, time travel was first. I thought it was, I wasn't too sure. I was like, is it just Barry and Jesse talking about it? Or is it like after Jay sort of stopped? I wasn't too sure if it was the first one or the second one. Anyway, we'll go on to the next super chat. I want to get through all these super chats before we move on. Naruto 0076, thank you very much for the $5 super chat. Best thing out of season 2 so far is the Wizard. I want memes. So obviously Naruto is actually talking about Jessica Jones season 2. Won't spoil the Wizard, but let's just say he's actually the name sort of gives it away. Like, it's a very like a cliche comic book name. But yeah, he's like similar to the Flash. I think the effects are a bit like, I don't think anyone can complain about the Flash effects anymore, but it sort of looks like Smallville. Remember in Smallville when the blur would run around? It almost looks like that, the Wizard. Anyway, if you're not watching, I've only watched episodes up to episode 3. I think I started 4 last night. I was like, I'm not going to get through this, so I had to turn it off. But I'm enjoying it so far. Like, a lot has happened as well. Like, a lot of unexpected stuff. If you're watching it and you know where I'm up to, you know what I'm talking about. I was like, what the hell when that happened? Like, certain things like that. So, yeah, but thank you very much for that, Naruto. Very much appreciated. Black Flash with a $3.99 super chat. Thank you very much. You can finally super chat on iOS. Well, there we go. I knew it was being brought in. I wasn't too sure when though. I think because they're trying to beat Twitch. I think YouTube is going to take over Twitch in regards to like YouTubers streaming. Like, YouTubers won't go to Twitch to stream unless they can make copyrighted content that's sensitive to YouTube, and Twitch will allow it. But I think YouTube wants to sort of up their streaming game, so that makes sense. They'd bring that in to entice people to stream on here. Austin with the $2 super chat. If I hear "We Are the Flash" one more time, I'm a scream. Look, I know West Islanders like to use it as their like motto. I don't know if motto is the correct word to use or term to use, or like their war cry. I don't know, one of the two. But it's a meme. Like, "We Are the Flash." It's a meme at this point. I find it funny. Whenever I hear it, I just have a chuckle. I'm like, like, it should have been used later on in the season if you're going to do it. It was used in episode 1, wasn't it? When was it used? It was used really early in the season. I can't believe it was used as early as it was. There goes my hair being a bit weird. But yeah, I find it funny. I know some people get triggered by it. I find it funny. That's why I say it in certain things. But yeah, Vladimir, I'm pretty sure that's your name. I think someone confirmed it in the comments. I think Barry thinks short distance time travel makes you a remnant by default, which Barry is really afraid of after Savitar. Yeah, I think that's probably the case. But as I said, like, I think next season he'll have to time travel for some reason, whatever that might be. So he'll do it again. He probably might have to like consult someone and be like, no, that's not how it works. Because like the time remnant was never really explained properly, but just from I've seen like other forms of different things like this, the concept of it is that the remnant is expendable and it's not meant to live. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I can understand that's probably what Barry was thinking at that point. But you think Barry's smarter than that, you would hopefully. So I think it's the writers trying to just was trying to avoid that situation and make it such an easy solution to the problem, and just make it so it ended up with Iris being the one that remembered the stuff from earlier on this season. Barry with the £5 £5 super chat, might I say? Has there been an Indian on the Flash comics and TV? Thoughts? Well, is Meena Dhawan Indian? I can't remember, or is she like Arab? I can't really remember. To be completely honest, I might. Does anyone want to confirm? Because I haven't read that comic since it came out. To be completely honest, so I can't really remember what her ethnicity is. So I'm not too sure. If anyone can confirm, that'd be nice. But like, is Captain Singh meant to be like Indian? Like Singh is a very like common like Indian last name. Like I know 2 Indian people, or 2 Indian families, might I say, with the last name Singh. So I don't know if it's maybe from another country or something and just been brought into India, or is it like a very Indian last name? Might need some confirmation on that. Sorry, I have to get through all these super chats because I have to do them like first. Vladimir, once again, it's not you who are Pagey. We all are Pagey. That is true. We are all the Flash. We are all Pagey as well. What was the other one? We Are Banana. That was from like one of the first streams. If anyone's an OG stream joiner, you would remember We Are Banana. I'll go to one question in the chat. Blaugrana, hey, Arsenal won 2-0. Yeah, I was going to wake up to watch it, and it had already started. I thought it was starting later, so they must have started earlier. I was really annoyed. I wanted to watch the game. Anyway, why is Gamby working with... Oh, Austin, bit of a spoiler. But anyway, if you're not caught up with... what do you call it? Black Lightning, then your fault. Why is Gamby working with Lady Eve? Has he always? I think it's due to his past. Mainly, I think that's just due to his past, and I'm hoping, and they'll probably go deeper into it as we move further, might I say. I still believe that cyanide that works with Tobias Whale is his daughter. That's like a big theory, and I do have to believe that. Yeah, Singh is an Indian name. I thought it was. Like, I know that I know 2 different Indian families that have the last name Singh. I just wasn't sure if it was like, say, brought in from another country, and it's just like it's spread through India. That sounds weird, but it happens. So I thought that might have been the case. But yeah, in regards to Gamby working with Lady Eve, I think it's just something to do with his past, and he's just basically trying not to get himself killed. So he's being very he stands up when he needs to, but he's still very obedient, if that makes sense. Sam with the $2 super chat once again. Thoughts on Jaws' idea for the Dawn character in the tweet? I don't really want to go over in a stream, to be completely honest, because I'm going to go into it in depth in a video probably tomorrow. I actually have a couple of all my bonus videos this weekend are Flash. I might do an Arrow one and squeeze it in there at some point, because there is some stuff I want to talk about in regards to Arrow, as well as Legends. There's actually a lot of videos I want to do. But Arrow is actually on break, so I could save Arrow for the next weekend, because Arrow's on break next week. So I might not have to shove it in there. But yeah, so I don't really... I know, sorry for making you super chat to ask that, Sam, but I don't think I can really do it on here, just because I sort of want to save it for that video. Hopefully you understand. But I'll give you another question free of charge if you want. Tyler Scully with the $4. What's with all the $4.99 like $2.99? I didn't realize you could do that on Super Chat. Maybe it's the iOS. Maybe you can like enter like a specific amount. I don't know. Anyway, Tyler with the $4.99 Super Chat. What episode do you think will dive into the symbols and nonsense Barry was writing / saying? The common thought is episode 20, because it's called Therefore She Is. I think everyone thinks it's going to be tied back to the thinker, like full circle, involving the Dawn Allen or coffee girl character, or coffee shop girl character. So that's when I would expect it. And I just think there's a lot of stuff happening in other episodes where I don't think they'd be able to fit that in. And it's like, because if they're going to go into it, they're going to have to go into it and focus an episode on it, because it's not just like, oh, this symbol means that, and then it's going to decipher in 5 minutes. It's going to take an episode to do that all. So yeah, I would expect it all in that one, or at least starting episode 20 and maybe spreading over into maybe episode 21 as well. But yeah, in those last 3 or 4 episodes of the season, that's why I would expect us to see diving into it, because obviously we saw the Dawn Allen character writing them in her book as well. Oh no, my chat on screen is frozen because it's where is it? There we go. It should fix itself up now. Okay, it should be sweet now. I had, because I scrolled back up. So because I did that, it paused. If you scroll back up, it like pauses where you stopped, and you have to go back down. So that's why. Sorry, I thought people were saying it was frozen on their screens. I didn't realize it was my one. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, it was just Naruto with the $2 super chat. Thank you very much, Naruto, for donating to help that. Austin once again with the $2 super chat. I haven't really introed the stream yet because everyone was like, super chat, super chat, super chat. Anyway, how is the Speed Force balance with the sphere gone? Well, it absorbed the sphere when it went to attack the nuclear bomb. So maybe it still has. Maybe it thinks that it got Barry, as in like killing him. Maybe. That was probably I think it was one. A lot of people love the episode. I understand why people love the episode. I think I would have loved the episode if I didn't go into it reading. Sometimes the actors and directors for the episodes can make the mistake of hyping up the episode too much. And I think they did for this episode. So I think anyone that really read those interviews was expecting more from the episode. Like more stakes, more consequences. And it just felt like there were stakes, but they felt like there was no consequences afterwards. I know one of the big rumors is that maybe because when Barry came out of the Speed Force, it hit one of the cops and created Godspeed. I don't know. I don't know if that's really what happened there. I think they would have focused more, maybe someone getting hit by it if they were going to do that. But yeah, I think when it got the genetic sphere, it thought it got Barry again. So that's what I think's happened there. It's probably just the way to go about thinking it, I think. I'm pretty sure, at least. But yeah, that's probably the best way I can go about it. But okay, now we've got through all the super chats, I can actually intro the stream properly. So thank you everyone for joining. In regards to the chat, just try and keep it civil. So no spamming of emojis, don't spam my name, no derogatory or offensive things. You know, just keep it civil, keep it nice in the thing. I know there's a Streamlabs donation, but I have to actually have to open Streamlabs in order to get that, and it takes a while because I have to log in like through 17 different things. I don't know why it's so like annoying to get into goddamn Streamlabs. If you want to support the channel, you can do what everyone was doing just then. You can super chat by clicking this little dollar emblem down here. You go send a super chat, you go whatever amount you want, type a message, and it will get 100% read out, or if it's a question, it'll get 100% answered on stream. If you can't super chat, most people should be able to super chat now, but if you can't super chat through your device or country, you can click a link at the top of the description that says streamlabs.com/Pagey. That will take you to a different page where you can donate, and I'm pretty sure like everyone on planet Earth can donate through that. So, and that'll appear on stream as well. I'm about to read out a Streamlabs donation right now once Streamlabs opens for me. And yeah, that's basically it. So just let me open this Streamlabs donation. Okay, it's from Michael with the $1.77 super chat. Would you agree that Captain Pike had the lamest death? He's been on Arrow since the beginning and they killed him like an extra. That really annoyed me. What about you? Also, I got the job I applied for, if you remember that from the last stream. Yes, I do remember you talking about that, Michael. So congratulations on getting the job. Everyone congratulate Michael in the chat. And yeah, like, I was so confused. I thought Captain Pike had just gotten like heavily injured because it was such a lame death. Like, they focused on him last season being like knocked out, like going into a coma and stuff like that, seeing him in hospital. It was such a lame death. Like, that's probably one of the biggest like just WTF moments of this season, where it just doesn't make sense. Like, he's been a character since season 1, since the beginning of the show, and he's just killed as if he's just like a person of the week, like a victim of the villain of the week. That was really strange. We didn't see a funeral for him. There was really no focus on him. It was like, oh, Captain Pike died. When's his replacement coming? Oh, okay. And that was basically it. It was really strange. Like, that's probably one of the strangest parts of this season, which it feels like the death was an afterthought. It's like, oh, we need to progress Richard Dragon's story, and we don't think that Captain Pike would go with him, so we need a corrupt police chief, or whatever you want to call them. So that was actually really strange, to be completely honest. So, I don't know. definitely stuffed up there in my opinion, but it was a weird choice. I'm just looking through Twitter. Sorry, I just had a lot. I guess I haven't been on Twitter, I guess, while I've been streaming. Anyway, ooh, we got a couple of super chats. Thank you, everyone. Edward Solis with the $4.99 super chat. Thank you very much. Who do you think Dawn's motive for meeting? What do you think? Sorry, Dawn's motive for meeting Harry and Caitlin was. Also, do you think Mullis is really a character we've seen before or a new one? Her motive, I'm not too sure. A lot of people are theorizing it was just to meet Killer Frost. I know she said, oh, I'm meeting people, but those people were like Harry and Caitlin, but people think it is specifically for Caitlin, for Killer Frost. I will go into a theory on one of my videos for this weekend is a theory around Dawn's character that is pretty popular within a lot of people. I think me and Eric were one of the first, me and DJ Eric talked about it on his stream after the Flash, and I think we were the first people to talk about it. But then the theory has picked up steam. So I don't know if people got it from our stream or it's just like a common thought that just picked up steam. Sorry. I'm not too sure. But essentially it has something to do with Dawn, this Dawn character being from the future, but coming back to change things to allow something to happen or something to not to happen. But I will jump into that in the theory on the weekend. But yeah, obviously people were confused about that. Like they were wondering, oh, who is she meeting? She was meant to meet Harry and Caitlin. That was the whole point of the meeting, and that's why she spilled the Killer Frost on Killer Frost, I guess, Caitlin. And Malice, he's meant to be very CGI, but I think they said in like the last two episodes or we're meant to see him in like a human form, but he is mostly CGI. But the only CGI we've seen of him is a hand coming towards Sarah's eye. They said that we're meant to have already met him at this point. I think they said episode 10 we were meant to meet him. We never met him. We were meant to see him, I'd say. We never saw him. Episode 9 we saw the hand. I think it was episode 9. So I don't know what the hell's going on with Mullis. Hopefully we see him sooner rather than later. Wouldn't surprise me if episode 15 is probably the episode we've seen. The episode that Constantine's in again. So I'd be expecting him to be in that episode. But we need to see him before the finale. It can't just be this big reveal right at the end. Because usually that doesn't go well. Remember Savitar? Anyway, so they need to hopefully reveal him sooner rather than later, but I don't think it'll be a character we've met. It'll probably be a new one, but I just think it's going to be people that we have met throughout the season might have connections to him. Vladimir, once again, the main problem with the Arrowverse is that the shows are afraid of breaking status quo. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. stepped over that and just keeps being awesome. Yeah, they don't want to break their mold. That's the thing, that they want to stick to the status quo. Shout out High School Musical. And like I think Legends changes that up a bit. I think Legends is the show that does change that up a bit. While I think Flash tried that, but it's like it's not enough of a change. Like you still get like the same feel. It's just that the villain's different. I'm doing a big video this weekend. If you follow me on Twitter, you would know. I'm doing a video about what's wrong with the Flash this season. Sorry for yawning. As in season 4, what should they fix going to season 5? Like that's right. That won't be the title, but that's basically the summation or the summary of the video. So I'll bring that video out sometime over the weekend. Tomorrow's video is probably going to be that the Earth 3 Speedster video. But like I think the Flash, like as I said, I like this season of the Flash, but I do understand why people have issue with it. Because what we're getting this season is what I was expecting. You know, it's what I was expecting, so I'm not too disappointed by it. Really, the only episode I was let down by was probably the episode we just had, and that's because I think I hyped myself up too much for it. But yeah, I would like to see the Arrowverse shows, shake it up a bit. I think it's hard for Arrow to shake it up a bit because it's so grounded and it wants to be grounded. Legends, I think, has succeeded in shaking up. Like, it has different things going on, and I think it works. Flash is probably the show that needs to change it up as much as possible. I think, I don't know what they could do next season with the current setup. If they keep the current setup, I'll go into detail in that video, obviously, on the weekend. But if they keep the current setup, it's not going to work. They can't shake it up because the current setup allows the show to be very formulaic, which in turn gets people frustrated. And it just seems like you're watching the same thing over and over again. So, as I said, I'll go over it more in depth in that video. Like, that video is going to be, I don't know how long it's going to be because I haven't really planned it out yet. I'm just thinking on the top of my head that I'll probably go off on a tangent. But I am going to go over people's tweets that, people sent me on Twitter the other day, and we'll go through all of that. But But yeah, thank you very much for that, Vladimir. And Charlie Kachia, or Kakia, one of the two, hopefully I pronounced that right, with a £2 super chat. Do you think Barry will create Gideon, might I say, this season? I don't think we're ever going to see Barry create Gideon. I don't think we're ever going to see that. Honestly, I just don't think we're going to see it. That's just my honest thought. I think I've said it in before, back then. Gideon was just relevant to that plot in previous seasons, and that's basically it. I just don't think we'll see Barry create Gideon at all. And if it is, it'll be like an afterthought. It'll be like, or we'll see like the early stages of it, but we won't actually see him like fully finish Gideon to the point that we saw in season 1. We're getting to some questions from the chat. Weather Girl Flash fan, do you think Iris needs to get destroyed or at least defeated when she first goes out in the sweater? She can't just be going out and nailing it on her first try. Well, yeah, she would. She'll get defeated on the first try, or she'll get like sidetracked and have to do something else, because that villain that would have been starting that fire would have moved on. We see him at the end, unless that's like the original dude, and then that dude gets his powers taken and given to the other dude. You know what I'm talking about if you know the premise of the episode. But yeah, they won't make her win first, because even it happens in the episode with the Flash. Like, he'll get defeated, and at the end of the episode he'll win. DJ Eric coming into the stream to demonetize me. Thank you very much for that, Eric. I appreciate the yellow button. Do I like memes? I love memes. Memes are nice and tasty. Who's your current least favorite Arrowverse character right now? Dinah, Iris, someone else? Dinah. I think Dinah's like to the point of unlikability where I don't think anyone could surpass her. The thing is that Dinah I don't really care about, because I don't think she's going to be on the show for much longer. I can't see her being in next season. I don't know how she would work. Iris I want to like. I've said this before, and I've said it 1,000 times. I want to like Iris, but her writing makes her so difficult to like. I liked her in seasons 1, 2, part of 3, but you know, I think Iris became like Felicity in season 3. Like, it just was so focused on her when it didn't need to be, that it just became frustrating watching. Like, if you weren't an Iris fan, watching the end of season 3, or like the back half of season 3, the back half of season 3, because that's when she became relevant, was just frustrating. It's just like, this is just not working, which then spilled into season 4. But I blame season 3 for season 4, because they put Iris in the spotlight and they had to keep her in that role. I think that's what they were going for. But yeah, Dinah Drake, easily. Like, she's so unlikable. And it's not the actress's fault. Like, it's obviously the way they wanted to take the character, but I think they've taken the character to a point where it's just like, look, you can make someone unlikable and you don't want to go with them, but there's a certain point you can reach where you're just like, okay, stop here. But they kept going with her, and I don't know. Anyway. Vladimir with the $100 rubles, or 100 ruble, Russian rubles, whatever you call them. I want Malice to be Savitar. Time prison taking over minds. Damien is awesome here. Redeem Savitar. They got awesome CGI. Why no Gustin for 2 episodes? I just don't think it makes sense if Malice was Savitar, because Malice is a demon. I don't know how they would incorporate Savitar into it. It's very similar to Savitar, which is why I understand why people were drawing the similarities to it. But yeah, I just don't think it's what's going. But I do agree with Damien. I like Damien this season. A lot of people are complaining about him. Like, I don't think there's much room to complain. I think he works on Legends. Like, he sucked on Arrow. He sucked. Not the act like that. The actor did, I think, the best he could. He just didn't fit on Arrow. He sucked in comparison. Like, he just didn't fit it. On Legends, he fits, and I think he's funny. I think he's good. So I obviously don't use him every single season. It's 2 seasons in a row that we've had Damien Dark. But I think he fits. Like, if he were to come back and say, like, if Legends got a season 5 or something, I wouldn't be complaining if it fit. Like, if he doesn't fit and he's there, then okay, well, then you can complain. But I think he fits this season. I think he fit last season, so I'm all for it. Doug Snyder with the $1.99 super chat. What if Gary is Malice? That's one of the big ones. He could, but I think the Time Bureau could all be connected. Like, the new description for Legends episode 16, I think it is. It's called Ava, which does suggest that Ava is a robot. So what if all the Time Bureau agents are robots? And I don't know, something like that. So that's probably what it is. And maybe Gary's a robot as well. I don't think Gary is Malice, though. Beast Lee X with a $2 super chat. What do you think Ripper's hiding about Ava? I think that's it. I think it's Ava's a robot. Or like artificial intelligence. So, yeah, I think that's what's going on there, to be completely honest. There could be something else, but I think the main thing is that she's a robot. But it should have to be from the far future, I think, for that to work. But thank you very much, Beasley, for that $2 super chat and the question. Doma Drama with, once again, another $2 super chat. Any Speed Force repercussions from the sphere? Obviously, he's talking about the genetic sphere that Barry got from the Speed Force and then chucked at the nuclear bomb. I don't know, because I think he might just trick the Speed Force once again to thinking that the sphere is him because it's got his genetic marker. So, in theory, I don't think there should be any repercussions just because it worked the first time when it got sucked into the Speed Force, which let Barry out. Unless it destroyed the sphere when doing it, but I think if that was the case, we'd be seeing a lot of repercussions like straight away. So next episode, repercussion. Episode after that, repercussion. But it doesn't look like that's going to happen. So I don't think there is going to be. Next season there could be. If maybe the sphere like wears off, if that makes sense. Maybe it dies a bit and the Speed Force isn't tricked anymore. Or if Barry, say, like time travels or something and it can pick up on him time traveling or something. Or doing something like that the Speed Force doesn't necessarily agree with. But at this point, I don't think we're going to see any repercussions for this season at least. I almost called you Lock the Drama. Lock the Gamer with a $2 super chat. What happened to Supergirl? Supergirl's on break until Legends finishes its season. So Legends had episode 13 this week. So we have, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So we have five more weeks of Legends. And then Supergirl's back. So Supergirl should be back in 6 weeks then? 6.5 weeks roughly. So that's what happened to Supergirl. They didn't really announce it well. They didn't say at the end of the last episode of Supergirl, we're on break until this date. We will be replaced by Legends of Tomorrow. So if you're not up to date on the internet and stuff, you wouldn't know where the hell Supergirl went. You'd be like, why is Legends on? So they didn't really explain it well or tell people that well. Nate will call Jessie a basic bitch. You know what? I was like, if any other character said that, there'd be some massive sexism stuff going on Twitter. I can't believe that Wally got away with it. If Nate said that, if Ralph said that on Flash, if Wild Dog said it on Arrow, so many people would be freaking out a bit and tweeting at the writers going blah 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 blah. But Wally said it and no one went about it. And I was like, what the hell? Yeah. Anyway. Because there's been similar things said like that and people have blown up saying, oh, well, that's not helping the current cause. I'm like, it's a line. Calm down. But yeah, I was surprised that no one had a freak out about that, to be completely honest. I was genuinely surprised. This house is bitchin'. Sorry, I've just got the chat's gone. Okay, here we go. I'm just making sure that this is all working. Okay, sweet. BTK X Predator 9X with a $4.99 super chat. I'm mad that Iris was the one who thought of the sphere. Shaking my head. Do you think we'd ever see the Rogues as a villain on The Flash? The second part first. We'll go for the second question. Probably not, just because I think it's hard to get done for a TV show for a season-long run. I know you could look at Legends with the Legion of Doom, but that's a bit different because they were traveling through time. They weren't set in the one premise. If there was Rogues, it'd all be in Central City. The thing is annoying is that they don't use the Rogues more often. We don't get, say, 5 episodes a season spread throughout the season where's the Rogues that Barry's dealing with. Because in the comics, that would be the case. He'd be dealing with the Rogues every now and then. Whether it's just one Rogue, 2 Rogues, all of them. That's the thing that the show needs to fix. It's weekly villain to villain or weekly episode to episode and what's going on. So, yeah. We should have Rogues more often, but what are you going to do? Oh, sorry for yawning. But this first question, I'm mad that Iris was the one who thought of the sphere. Shaking my head. Well, the reason that Iris was the one that came up with the sphere, I know a lot of people saying why didn't Harry think of that? Harry wasn't actually there, so you got to rule Harry out completely out of the equation. And when Cisco and Caitlin were brought into it, you could argue Cisco, when Caitlin was brought into it, she wasn't Caitlin, she was Killer Frost. But when Cisco was brought into it, the main thing was breaching it. Really, it was doing some of the things to stop it right there and then, rather than a external source, which the sphere was, and it was an external fix to the problem. So Caitlin was focused on Killer Frost, might I say, was focused on chilling it out. So you rule her out. She wasn't Caitlin, she was Killer Frost. Cisco was, the whole thing was there and then what was around them to fix it, and then the breaching, which tied him out. So he had to stop. So really the only option was Harry or Iris, and Harry wasn't there. So it always was going to come down to Iris. And they left Iris till the last thing on purpose. As I said, the plausible solution to it was time travel. But the writers skipped over that. Yeah. But they should have used Iris as, if they were going to do anything, they should have put Iris as like when they first ran back to talk to Harry, he should have gone and talked to Iris. Iris should have brought that up, and Barry would have said, no, that's not a plausible option, and then run away and then come back to that option later on. That would have been the better way to write that episode, so people weren't frustrated with Iris. If I was writing that episode, you don't go to Iris as the last resort. You go to her as that first mix before you start trying different things. She would bring that up, and you go, oh, okay, that's too hard. It was stuff like the Speed Force again or something like that, and then run away and then come back to that option later and go, you know what, I'll do that, and then go and do it. The thing is that they left it till late to make some sort of dramatic moment, which, if you're not an Iris West fan, you would have got annoyed at. I didn't get annoyed at it because you could tell from the trailer that she was going to be the last resort because Barry was all sweaty and stuff like that. Like looked like he was about to die. So yeah, it makes sense why Iris remembered it. It's just the way that they portrayed it in the episode, which it just it wasn't done well. I've said this before. The writers for The Flash have definitely gone downhill. It's just the what's the word to use, or the term to use? The writing process of how they write episodes is so down from seasons 1 and 2. Season 1 and 2, you could tell there was they actually were thinking through the process of an episode and how to properly put it together. This way, the past, especially this season, but the back half of season 3 as well, it just seems like it's a completely different writing team. I think, as I've said, I think season 1 and season 3 of The Flash, it feels like one group of people wrote the first half and another completely different group of people wrote the second half. It's almost like the writing team just swapped in the mid-season break, and it's continued on to season 4. So the back half of season 3 and season 4, the writing team is so much different and so much worse than season 1, 2, and the beginning half of 3. It just feels so much different. So it's just the way that they write episodes, especially episodes like this, which if you swap things around and place them differently, they work so much better. So I don't know. I know people this might sound like, short page, but I honestly think I'd be able to write a better episode than some of the writers do. Not necessarily the dialogue, but the plot points of the episode. Be like, no, this is how that should happen because you've swapped it around. You should have put this bit there, this bit there, that bit there, not there. As I said, formulaic, which in turn doesn't work every single episode. Sometimes you have to mix it up. But that doesn't happen. How is my dog? My dog is good. He's not barking, so he must be downstairs just having a bit of a... I gave him breakfast, so he's probably gobbled that down and is a bit sleepy. John Sims with a $2 super chat. Sorry, John, I've just seen this now. Do you think Mon-El Valor-suit is better than Kara's? We haven't really seen it too well in an episode. We've seen that little promo thing. And then some behind the scenes pictures. I want Kara to get a suit upgrade. I want her to get a different suit. But Mon-El's suit is basically just the reverse Superman suit. Everything that was red on the Superman suit is blue on Mon-El's. Whatever was blue on Superman's suit is red on Mon-El. So basically the red and blue just swaps from the two suits. And that's basically what the suit is. So basically just think Superman's... it's Superman's suit but reversed. It's probably the best way to put it. I don't know if there's... Is there the little symbol there? The little L symbol? I don't know if it's there or not. I can't remember. I think it's just it looks like that black suit he's wearing, the bit on the chest. I can't get Cow because he'd just be restless, and I have to go. If I went and got him, I'd be gone for 3 minutes trying to get him. Even if the nuke went off, wouldn't the Legends have just come and stopped the bomb as an anachronism? Well, that's not an anachronism. An anachronism is something that's displaced through time. So it feels like I don't know, if it was some maniacal genius or psycho from the 1940s that was in 2018 Central City loading off a bomb, then that's an anachronism. But this was just present day someone. So this wouldn't have been an anachronism. This would have been something that would have played out during time. So the legends wouldn't have been necessarily called upon it. They wouldn't have known about it. It wouldn't have been like alerted to them, if that makes sense. Will we ever see Dawn Allen? Well, it matters if this character is Dawn Allen or not. If she's not Dawn, then I wouldn't be expecting the Tornado Twins to be coming in anytime soon. Like, really, Dawn coming in is whether that character is Dawn or not. So I have to wait and see. Do you think the Flash will get his powers back from Iris? Yeah, Iris only has those powers for one episode. And really, if you think about it, she'll probably get the powers like maybe 5 minutes into the episode and lose them about 5 minutes to go. So she'll have their powers for about, like when you put the episode together, like maybe 35 minutes. So yeah, because Barry, the next episode after this one, like the Run Iris Run episode is the Kevin Smith episode, and Barry's back for that. We've gone over stuff on my channel about that, so Iris only has the powers for one episode. What if you pass your speed on to someone else, their lightning is purple? Hopefully they explain the purple lightning. It's because you can't just do things in this show and just expect them to, like, no one to think about it, because it's so different. And we saw the Accelerated Man with purple lightning. It wasn't as purpley. Like, I've been calling Iris's lightning like artificial grape, because that's what, you know, like Hubba Bubba, like a grape lolly or candy, whatever you want to call it. It sort of looks like that color, or like grape soda. It almost looks like that. It looks like artificial grape. While Accelerated Man's lightning was more like what you'd expect purple lightning to. Oh, sorry, what you would expect purple lightning to look like on a speedster. So I don't know if they're gonna explain that, or they're just gonna be like, oh, she has purple lightning. That's cool. Because people are always going to question it. You just create more problems than you are. Well, yeah, you just create more problems, I guess, and more questions that probably will never be answered. Could you explain what happened with the coffee shop lady and what she said at the end? I'm actually going to be doing videos on the weekend, which will cover that sort of thing. So just be patient. I can't really talk about it in the stream, because I don't really... If I talk about it, I'll be going like a 10-minute tangent. And I'd rather just you watch the video later on about that, to be completely honest. What type of Wi-Fi do you have at your house? I have no idea. The basic Wi-Fi that my internet provider gave to me. What other powers does the Flash have that we haven't seen yet? One thing that would be pretty cool, and they haven't really shown it, is speedsters willingly giving speed. So we've seen like Zoom take speed, but like speedsters willingly give speed. So basically they can go like siphon off my speed, and they can just like touch. Say if like one thought I thought would have been cool in this episode is if like Jesse and Jay gave Barry their speed so he could do something with it and use something from the Speed Force to defeat or take care of the bomb. We'll probably have to wait and see, but hopefully that should be a power that's like tapped into, like donating speed, if that makes sense. What other powers can they do? Like, there's not too many. Like, Barry's sort of got a lot of them. We'll probably see one more this season. But I can't really predict, to be completely honest. Will an Uber be back? Who's an Uber? Thank you, Amethyst, for the $2 super chat. It's very much appreciated. Do you think Barry will remember anything from the Speed Force? I think he will, but it's going to be like a later point this season. Like, it's all going to come back to him, or he'll be triggered by something. Oh, will Amunet come back? I saw an Uber, and I was like, an Uber? I didn't order an Uber. Has there been an Uber on the show? Probably one more episode, I think. Just because I don't think they'd end a story this season just like that. So we'll probably see one more episode with Amunet, probably connected to DeVoe again, and that what do you call it? And Killer Frost as well.
This house is fiction.
Oh, sorry for yawning. We've got 2 super chats here. Sam with the $5 super chat. Thank you very much, Sam. Excited for tonight. What do you think Roy's involvement in this 2-episode arc with the dragon? The dragon, you finally got what you asked for. Yeah, it's episode 19, that episode. I'm excited for that. I think my stream just went weird for then. Hopefully it's back up now. Roy's involvement, I think it's just mainly probably the dragons brought him in. I don't know how the dragon would have got Roy, to be completely honest. Yeah, I'm not too sure, to be completely honest. I just don't really, I don't really know like how he would have been brought back into Star City. Um, I'm interested though. I'm very intrigued to find out, and especially if he gives up any information to the dragon, or Ricardo Diaz, might I say as well. But thank you very much for that, Sam. John Sims with the $5. The plot force is strong. Sorry, something popped up. The plot force is strong with Iris's lightning. I mean, come on, that vibrant purple is amazing, but for real, should no lightning be the same color? Duh. It should be, but some people were saying like the inverted color of yellow is purple, but Barry's lightning isn't yellow, it's orange. Like Wally's lightning is yellow, Barry's lightning is orange, so that negates that theory. Hopefully they explain the purple lightning, because it could possibly explain what's going on with the Accelerated Man, or if not hint to who he could be. But I'm not expecting them to explain. I think it's more of an aesthetic thing. As I said in my trailer breakdown, her suit has like the purple top, and it would look not that good if she had orange lightning or yellow lightning. So obviously they had to give her like blue, but blue's been used as like, you know, tainted Speed Force. So purple's probably the next choice. We've had it established already, so they had the effect to make it purple. So even though it's a bit more, as I said, artificial grape. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully they do explain it though. Thank you, Simon, for the £5 super chat. Just a bit of cash to help you, Pagey, but I'm logging off, bud. Bud, sorry, I'm going to say. Fed up of the crap in the chat. Good luck. I can understand the chat can be a bit insane sometimes, but thank you very much. Thank you very much for that, Simon. It's much appreciated. Nermol, hopefully I pronounced that right. I'm so sorry if I haven't. With a £2 super chat. Could Gary be Malice? He's brought up quite a bit. Yeah, someone actually brought that up earlier. I don't think Gary's necessarily Malice, but I think the Time Bureau is connected to Malice in more ways than we might initially think. We obviously stuff has come out that is leading or is hinting at Ava being a robot, so maybe Gary could be a robot as well. But we'll have to wait and see. But I wouldn't say Gary's going to be Malice, but yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if he's connected to there. D Stingley with the $5 super chat. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that, D Stingley. Do you think it's too early for Wally to be without the Flash? He should be working with him side by side. Yeah, I think it just comes down to the season why Wally had to leave. Like, it just wouldn't have worked with two speedsters, DeVoe, and it's more of like a personal thing between Barry and DeVoe. But I can't see Wally staying on Legends next season, especially if Flash goes back to a speedster villain, or at least a metahuman orientated villain, like with, you know, overpowered powers. Then we should see Wally come back and they'll work him in. And as I said, I'm doing a video this weekend about like what season 5 should be. For the Flash and stuff that should be changed from season 4. And we'll dive into some Wally stuff then. But I do agree with you. Like, he should be working with Barry side by side. I think it's a bit dangerous for Wally to be out on his own at this stage without like anyone with too much knowledge of the Speed Force and him. Not there to like guide him. So it could be a bit dangerous. But thank you very much. Thank you very much for that, D. And then Doma Drama, we got double D's there with the $2 super chat. Stopping time has to be something DeVoe doesn't know. Yeah, that could be something that Barry takes to his advantage, especially if he can bring people. Obviously, he can bring people into that. So if they're around DeVoe, yeah. But the fact that he can go so fast, it's the thing is with that episode of Enter Flash Time, it's now going to open so many more questions up for future episodes when, like, say, Barry can't reach certain things in time. Because he paused it and was running around for, like, 40 more, like, half an hour our time. And just walking around and, like, the bomb moved, like, this much, you know? It's opened up a lot of doors to complain about future things. Like, Barry now shouldn't be able to, like, get hit by anything or be surprised by anything because he can enter Flash Time. And now he can bring people into it, which is really overpowered as well. So it opens up a lot of issues for the show in the future, even though it was a cool premise. But it could be used to take on DeVoe. I think all these new powers that Barry learns will be something that he can use against DeVoe come the end of the season. But I don't think DeVoe would know about it because DeVoe's not a speedster, so he can't see it happening unless Barry tells him, which would be really stupid. Naruto 0076. Shouldn't Jay and Jesse have been able to move after resting for a bit? I don't know. I don't think so. I think the way it works is that, like, because they were tired and fatigued, they wouldn't have been able to snap straight into it. And because it was all spread over like literally half a second, they wouldn't have had enough time to catch their breath and come back into it. I think that's the way it's going. So that's the way I'm going to perceive it. You could really look into it more, but I think that's the way I'm going to perceive it, to be completely honest. Okay, don't worry. All good. But yeah, I think it's best not to look too much into it, because I think it's the way I'm going to perceive it is like they were tired, they stopped to rest, but it would have taken them longer to recover and be able to go and enter flash time again as to what Barry had done in that time. So that's the way I'm going to perceive it. John Sims with the $2 super chat. Your video is slower than your audio, just a tip. Okay. Well, I can't really. I think that's really YouTube. I can't really do anything on my end, I don't think, because usually it's the same sort of speed, or like it's usually synced. So I don't think I can really do anything about it. But I'm wrapping up the stream like 10 minutes time anyway, so don't think it's really worth my time to jump in there. But thank you, John, for pointing that out anyway. And then BTK Predator 9X with a $1.99 super chat. Upset they never had Wally tell anyone he's leaving. Yeah, that's a bit confusing. Like Barry said that Wally's not here, but they'd been said earlier on that Wally went to Cambodia. Like he said that in the Flash. So yeah, it's a bit weird that they haven't really talked about it, or like even Wally hasn't referenced like telling people that he's leaving. But then we have Jonah through Streamlabs with the $6.42 donation. Let's say for the sake of argument that Ava is not Malice. What else do you think her secret could be that Rip does not want Sarah to know about? Well, they did release a synopsis, and it looks like that she's a robot or like artificial intelligence, like an AI of some sort, or something along those lines. So that's probably the safe bet. Like, they haven't confirmed that, but that's what it sounds like. The episode is called I, Ava, you know, that movie with Will Smith, I, Robot. So are they confirming that Ava's a robot, artificial intelligence of some sort, a cyborg, a clone? I don't know. But even if you look at Ava's performance this season, she is a bit robotic in some stages, so very as if she is following like a program. So it really doesn't come as too much of a surprise if you think about it that way. But yeah, that's probably what it's going to be like. But it's going to be interesting to see what her intentions are, like, and what she's going for, and what she does, and whether she betrays, I guess, the legends as well. Do I think Godspeed will show up this season? No, I don't think so. I think I talked about this on another stream, but if they did Godspeed, I don't think he'd be able to last the whole season. I think he'd be like a either back half of the season villain or a first half of the season villain. So, yeah, I don't think they could stretch it over a long thing of the season unless they involve the Speed Force Storm again with all these new speedsters coming in. But yeah. Yeah, my camera's out of sync. I don't know why that is. I honestly can't tell you why that is, to be completely honest. I can have a look at the advanced audio properties. It doesn't say it's off sync, so I don't know what the issue is. So I think I'm just going to have to leave it for now, and hopefully next time I stream it's fixed. I'm only going to be streaming for like another 5 minutes, like between 5 and 10 minutes. So there's no point in me like diving too deep into it to try and fix it. I also have to try and fix it next time. I'm not too sure what's going on in the chat. Everyone's saying that the chat is crap or the chat is great. And I think when people saying the chat is great, it's a bit sarcastic and tongue-in-cheek. Not too sure what's going on there. But Doma Drum with the $5 super chat, thank you very much. Did Harry make that device at the end that he used with Jesse to read DeVoe's thoughts or plan, or gain all of his knowledge? I don't know. Next episode, we do see in the promo pictures that Harry, has like something that looks like the thinking cap that DeVoe had. It's basically the thinking cap with like a couple more like little attachments. So maybe he integrates that in there and it can connect to DeVoe in some way, shape or form. I'm not too sure, but you'd have to think. They did say that Harry's going to have a big thing something big to do with DeVoe come the end of the season. So that could be it. I'm interested to find out. Like, I hope Harry is more involved because he seems he's there all the time but just doesn't do much. He's just there really have banter with Cisco. I think he should be more involved. But yeah, that they didn't just make that device that Harry had at the end of last episode so he could communicate with Jesse. Obviously, it was a nice moment, but obviously it's going to push on into further parts in this season. So he might integrate that with that new thinking cap looking thing, which is most likely like the cerebral inhibitor 3.0. But we'll have to wait and see, I guess. I don't know if he'd necessarily gain all of his knowledge, though. It might just be him able to interfere with DeVoe tapping into those metahuman powers, maybe. But yeah. I love how Iris is a main character and is written so bad, and Jesse is on for one episode and is written pretty good. Yeah, I think I said that in my review or something else. It was like, yeah, I don't know when I said it. Who do you think the girl Jay is training? My bet is on Dawn Allen. I actually have a video on that coming out tomorrow. Spoiler alert, I don't think it's Dawn Allen. I think it's someone else, but we will go over it all in tomorrow's video, and there's a couple of options as well. There's more than like 2 or 3. I think there's 5 I think I put in there. So yeah. Sam with the $5 super chat. Thank you very much, Sam. I want to say, do you think you could reinforce civil behavior among the mods? It's very heated in chat and frankly annoying. Is there an after party with Eric tonight? Maybe, in regards to the after party, maybe, I'm not too sure. I'm not honestly too sure what's going on in the thing. If someone wants to tell me what's exactly going wrong 100% in the chat and like tell me what the problems are, then I'll sort them out. But I'm really confused because I'm looking at different things on my screen and I can't necessarily focus in on the chat 100%. That's necessarily why the mods are there, but I'm not too sure what's going on. So if anyone wants to specify what's wrong, then I'll be sure to fix it up, because I'm not necessarily sure what's wrong. Mystery Girl is Jay Garrick's trainee. That's coming from D Stingley with the $2 super chat. It's a possibility I do bring her up in that video, but I won't spoil what I say. But she's brought up, and she's definitely, you can't rule her out as an option. But yeah, I'll go much more in depth in that video. Thank you very much for the super chat, D Stingley. Much appreciated. Sorry for yawning as well. I haven't like properly woken up. I went downstairs, had breakfast, then came back up and streamed. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to ignore all the stuff that's going on in the chat now because I'm gonna end the stream in a couple of minutes, and I'll sort it out after the fact. And yeah, and then there might have to be some rule changes in regards to what can get you muted out. Okay, getting a headache. Getting a headache. I think I might need a cerebral inhibitor to sort this out afterwards. Anyway, Doma Drama once again with the $2 super chat. Thank you very much for being so generous today, Doma. Couldn't Barry retain his knowledge if he thinks fast? Yeah, I guess that's true. He should be able to. I don't know. There's a lot of things that like just very like coincidental and on the show, so I just allow certain things to happen. But he should be able to. He should be able to be completely honest. But obviously, it doesn't happen. When is Teen Titans, might I say, coming out? Like the Titan show or Teen Titans Go the movies? The Titan show, I don't know when it's... I think they said around October. It'll probably come out like around the same time that the Arrowverse shows come out, but on the streaming service. Mon Quiet Edwards with a $1.99 super chat. Why don't you review iZombie? I love it. It's just really, there's no like appeal to it in regards to YouTube. It's similar to Black Lightning, why I'm not doing it. It's a really hard show to break down and speculate on. It's a good show. Like I watched the most recent episode of Black Lightning was amazing. Like some of the stuff that happened, I was like, I was not expecting it. I was like, what the hell? So much stuff went down last episode. I was like, what the hell's going on here? Especially without naming the character, there's a character who I thought was going to be there for the long run. I honestly thought they were going to be there next season, possibly be the big bad next season, and then all of a sudden they're not there anymore. I was like, what the hell? I was like, this is crazy. But with iZombie, it's one of my favorite shows to watch. I love it. But the thing is that, is there appeal for it on YouTube? It's a hard show to break down. It's a hard show to speculate on. So I just watch it and enjoy it. I watch a lot of shows and I don't review them. It's because you know, the shows doing on my channel, they're related to each other. Even Black Lightning isn't related technically to Arrow and Flash and stuff because it's not in the Arrowverse at this point. So I just try to keep everything related and enjoy shows just for them and not having to like focus in on reviewing them. So that's the main reason I don't review iZombie. I just like watching it for what it is. Why no Marvel videos lately? Just because I actually have like 2 Marvel videos I wanted to bring out, but there's just so much other stuff going on. I haven't got around to making them, and they actually haven't been like upper echelon of importance. But yeah, like I've got to work it in because like I don't like people are like, oh, why are you doing Marvel videos and stuff like that, and it's just like you can complain or you can just not watch them. Like you got to choose which one you're gonna do. You can either watch it and complain, or you can just not watch it at all and just watch the DC stuff. So, you know, pick your battles. That's probably the best way to put it. But yeah, when I basically I want to do them because really, even though Infinity War is coming up, I don't necessarily think there's that many videos to do on it. It's just like with DCEU, there's not really much. You can do Shazam videos if you wanted to, but I want to wait till there's like an official release on stuff like that. There was a really good picture that came out today, but even then, like, it doesn't show the whole suit. It shows like the top half, and it looks better than some of the other pictures. So yeah, it's just basically when there's a video I want to do, then I'll do it. That's probably the best way to put it. Like, there's been times in the past where I've wanted to do Marvel videos. I'm like, oh, how people respond to it. But now I'm just like, I'm sweet with like doing whatever on my channel. So, but when there's something that comes up, I'll do it. That's probably the best way to put it. But yeah. Sorry, I'm just clicking something to see. Sorry for yawning. It's rude. It's extremely rude. Okay, sweet. Okay, well, I think I'm going to end the stream there, guys. Thank you for everyone that super chatted. It's very much appreciated. It's very generous from anyone that did that to support the channel and support me. Thank you everyone that came and watched. Thank you everyone that donated through Streamlabs, all that good stuff. As my next stream will most likely be on just before Legends, so that when Legends is out, so expect maybe like 4 hours before Legends starts. That's when my next stream will be, and yeah, so I'll catch you guys later. I hope everyone has a good day, and I'll see you later for my Arrow videos if you're going to watch them. And yeah, goodbye.